This guy named Tim, and he lived in North Carolina, worked at this Walmart that was situated in the Appalachian Mountains. Now, Tim worked third shift, and he said at this Walmart specifically, a lot of strange things would happen at night. They would hear footsteps like running by them. They'd turn around, no one would be there. Sometimes their pallets of boxes would fall over by themselves. They would hear people talking with like a staticky voice over the intercom. But Tim says he remembers specifically there was this woman that he worked with, and she was this good employee who showed up on time and worked really hard. But he said one night she was stocking the shelves and something scared her. She came running into the break room, freaking out. And she claimed that when she was stocking the shelves, she sees a man at the end of the aisle. She said this man was wearing a black hat and some kind of like black cape, and he was just staring at her. And she said he then proceeded to run towards her, and she took off running all the way to the break room. So the manager tells everyone to stop what they're doing and search the store for this man in a hat and a cape. They look through the entire store. They do not find him. Now, at this time, the security cameras were not turned on. So the manager says, you know what, I'm going to keep the security cameras on to keep an eye on this employee and make sure this doesn't happen again. About a week later, she has the same like encounter, and she's totally freaked out. So the manager then goes to the security cameras, and when he looks at it, he sees this employee in the aisle, and it's like she notices someone's there, and she takes off running. But he can't see this other guy. So at the time, like the manager thought, she's probably like on something or losing her mind. Until one of the floor guys at night, who was this, level-headed guy, doesn't tell stories, goes to the manager and says, hey, I seen this weird guy with a hat and a cape, and I rode past him on the, floor machine, and when I turned, he was gone. And I kind of looked for him around the store. I couldn't find him. So the manager, like being worried for this employee, started assigning another employee to help her stock her area. Well, this employee was with her one night, and he's on one aisle and she's on the aisle behind him. They're both stocking the shelves. When this employee hears her scream, he goes around the aisle to the other side. She's gone. He starts yelling her name, looking around. He can't find her. So then he goes and tells the manager. Well, the manager, he thinks, let's see if her car's still here. Maybe she like quit and left. So they go out to the parking lot. Her vehicle was still there. So he goes back. He checks the security cameras. And to his surprise, he does not see that woman employee or anything else that entire night. It was like she wasn't even there. So the next day, he's expecting that this is going to be like a big deal. There's going to be police and detectives and everybody there, except there's no one there, except for these three men in these black suit and ties. And they sit down with them before they're like started the shift meeting. And they basically tell them, yeah, that employee no longer works here. She had a, addiction problem, and she's been located and we're taking care of it. Which he said, he didn't buy that story. He thought like there was something weird about it because she didn't seem like that kind of person. And eventually he said all of the employees who witnessed that were one by one like fired for just ridiculous reasons. And he said it was, never in the news. No one ever talked about it, but he had witnessed that happen at that Walmart.